Hello students, welcome back to Tungal online classes. In the last class we started the objective part of statistics. So let us continue our discussion. So the question is, the distribution consists of three components with frequencies given 300, 200 and 600 having their means 16, 8 and 4 respectively. Then the mean of combined distribution is. Now we have to find the mean of combined distribution where the three components are given, their frequencies and their means are given. Now we need a combined mean. So what is the combined mean of distribution? So here three components with frequencies. So first one, frequency is 300 given, N2 200, N3 is 600, and their means. So mean of first components it is given 16. Mean of second components x2 bar is given 8, and mean of third components x3 bar is given 4. So we know the means of these three components and their corresponding frequencies. Now we want to find the combined mean. So what is the formula for combined mean? Combined mean x bar is given by is x1 bar into n1 plus x2 bar n2 plus x3 bar n3 divided by n1 plus n2 plus n3. Not only up to three components, it can be extended up to any number of components. Since we are given three components, so we are taking up to three components here. So combined mean x bar equal to x1 bar n1 300 into 16 plus 200 into 8 600 into 4 divided by 300 plus 200 plus 600. So let's simplify the value. 100 you can take numerator and denominator cancel. So remaining is 48, 16, 24, 3 plus 2 plus 6. So what we get here? 88 divided by 12. So it will be 8. So the combined mean will be 8. Okay. Next. So the next question. So this formula based you can solve this. The mean marks got by 300 students in the subject of statistics was given 45. The mean of top 100 was found to be 70. The mean of last 100 was known to be 20. Then the mean of the remaining 100 students is. So what we are given is the mean of 300 students in the subject of statistics is 45. So total mean is given, that is 45 for 300 students. Now this 300 students we are dividing into three parts: top 100, middle 100 and then last 100. Now we know the mean of top 100 students 70 and the mean of last 100 students 20. Now we want to find what is the mean of the middle students. Okay, so this is also based on the combined average. So we are taking the three parts. Okay, so just take the total mean of 300 students is given 45. So given combined mean x bar is 45. Now we are dividing this 300 students into three parts. Okay, N1 100 students, that is the top 100 students. N2 middle 100 students. N3 is last 100 students. And their means. X1 bar, the mean of top 100 students is found to be 70. X2 bar, we don't know, we have to find that. X3 bar, the mean of last 100 students is found to be 20. Okay. Now we need to know what is the mean of the middle students, that is remaining the 100 students. So what is the combined mean formula again? Using combined mean, x bar equal to x1 bar n1 plus x2 bar n2 plus x3 bar n3 divided by n1 plus n2 plus n3. Okay, let us use this formula. So x bar is known 45. x1 bar n1 100 into 70 plus 100 into x2 bar that we don't know plus 100 into 20 divided by total students 100 plus 100 plus 100. 100 we can take common and cancel, so remaining 70 plus x2 bar plus 20. 100 we are taking common, so remaining will be 3. Right? Multiply 45 into 3. So how much we get? 135 is equal to 90 plus x2 bar. So what will be x2 bar? x2 bar will be 45. So the average of the middle students will be 45. Understand? So total 300 students we are dividing into 3 groups. The average of top and last 100 students are given. Now using the combined mean formula we are finding the average of the middle students. Okay. Now let us go to next question. Question number 21. The median of set of 9 distinct observations is found to be 20.5. Now if each of the largest 4 observations of the set is increased by 2, then the median of new set is. So some observations are given, 9 distinct observations, and for these observations the median is given. Median is 20.5. Now if each of the largest 4 observations are increased by 2, then the median of new set is. Now what will happen to median if we are increasing the last 4 items increased by 2? Okay. So let us take the observations as 9 observations are given. So let x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7, x8, x9. These are 9 observations. And given that these are distinct, they are different. Now for these 9 items, the median is given 20.5. Now for in case of ungrouped data, we know that what is the median? Median is the observation which is present in the middle of the data after arranging the data in either ascending order or descending order. Now assume that we are arranging this data in ascending order. Okay. So suppose that this is the ascending order. Now in this median, so which item is present in the middle of the data? X5 is the median. Okay. So X5 is the median, which is 20.5. Now what will happen to this median if each of the largest 4 observations are increased by 2? Now if I am increasing this last 4 observations, if each of these items are increased by 2, now what will happen to the median? Now clearly, will the position of X5 changes because the median and mode, these are positional averages. Okay, so median and mode are positional averages. So even if these 4 are increased by 2 or any number, will it affect X5 value? No, it will not affect, because still they will be in ascending order, because first we increased each of these by, first we arranged all these in ascending order. Now when they are arranged in ascending order, even if we increase these last 4 values, there will be always more than X5. So for the new data also, the middle term will be X5 only. So middle term is same, means the median remains the same. Okay. So in this case, the last 4 observations can be increased by any quantity. Still, the middle term remains the same. So the median remains the same here. In this case, the median remains the same. So what option we can take? Remains same as the original set. Understand me? So here we are increasing only the last 4 items by 4, by 2. Okay. Suppose if I increase each of the items by 2, what will happen to median? Will it change or not? If each of the item is increased by 2, what will happen to the median? Now in that case, the median also changes by 2, because each item increases by 2. Now median also increases by 2. Okay. So these 2 different cases we have to consider. When the last items are increased or these before items are decreased, still the median remains the same. But if each of the observations are increased or decreased, then median also increases or decreases. Okay. Now let's see next question. If a variable takes discrete values are given: alpha plus 4, alpha minus 7 by 2, alpha minus 5 by 2, alpha minus 3, alpha minus 2, like this, where alpha is positive, then the median is, you have to find the median for this data. Now for finding the median, what we do is, first arrange these observations either in ascending order or descending order. Alpha is some positive value, we don't know what is this value. So here alpha is some positive value given. Now first we arrange these observations either in ascending or descending order. I will arrange in ascending order. This is the ascending order of observations for some value of alpha. Observe alpha plus 4, alpha minus 7 by 3.5. So smallest value will be alpha minus 7 by 2. Next, alpha minus 3, alpha minus 5 by 2. Next, alpha minus 2, alpha minus 2, then alpha minus 1 by 2. Then alpha plus 4, alpha plus 1 by 2, alpha plus 4, next alpha plus 5. So we are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 observations. So 8 observations are given, we need the median. Now when the number of observations is given, how to take median? Because we get 2 middle terms. Okay. So here n equal to 8 is given. So we get two middle terms using the formula. When we get two middle terms, so what will be the median? The average of two middle terms. So median equal to average of the two middle terms. What are the middle terms here? N by 2 term and n by 2 plus 1 term. Clearly we can say what are the middle terms? Fourth and fifth terms. So these are the middle terms because n is 8 means fourth term, 4 plus 1, fifth term. So fourth and fifth terms, these are the middle ones. Now we take their average. So average means alpha minus 2 plus alpha minus 1 by 2 divided by 2. Average 1 by 2. So we get 2 alpha minus 5 by 2 divided by 2. It will be alpha minus 5 by 4. So the median for this data it will be alpha minus 5 by 4. Now let us see next question. The mean and median of 100 items are given 50 and 52 respectively. Now the value of largest item is 100. It was later found that it is actually 110. Then the two mean and median are. So for 100 observations, mean and median are given. But we find that the largest item is 100. Okay, largest item is 100. Now in that case, mean median is 50 and 52. Now we later found that the actually largest item is 110. So when the largest item is actually 110, so what will be the correct mean and median? Now we can see that when we arrange the observations like x1, x2, x3 up to x99, now we are given 100 items. So the largest item is 100. So last item we take it as 100. Now for these observations, suppose we arrange in ascending order. Okay, assume that we arrange this observations in ascending order. Now in this 100 observations, mean is given 50, median is 52. So middle term, median is given 52. Now later we find that actually the largest item is 110. Now whether this largest item is 100 or 110, now will it change the middle term value? Whether it is 100 or 110, will it change the middle term value? No, middle term will not be changed because whether it is 100 or 200 you take, since we are arranging them in ascending order, it will not affect the middle term value. So when we are changing the last term or the greatest terms, still the median remains the same. So in this case, the median is not affected. Now what will affect is mean will be affected because mean means sum of observations divided by number of observations. Now observation changing means sum also changes, so mean changes. So in this case, only the mean changes but not the median. Okay, so here median remains the same. Now we'll find what is the correct mean because median does not change. So just take that observations as x1, x2, x3 and so on up to x99 and 100 be observations. So what the given is, their mean is given 50. What is the main formula for this? x1 plus x2 plus and so on up to x99 plus 100 divided by 100 is equal to 50. Now from this we can find what is the x1 x1 plus x2 plus up to x99 is 5000 minus 100 is 4900. Now the correct mean. What is the correct mean? x1 plus x2 plus up to x99 plus, what is the correct value? The largest item actually it is 110. So there is a change only in the last item, but remaining all 99 items are same. Divided by number of observations is 100. Now this value we know 4900 plus 110 divided by 100. So it is 5010 divided by 100. It is 50.1. So the correct average or correct mean is 50.1, and whereas the median does not change, median remains same because it is present the middle of data. So whether you are increasing the last item, it will not affect this middle term. So median remains same, only the mean is affected. Correct answer is 50.1 and then T2. Okay. Now let's see next question. If the difference between mean and mode is given 63, then the difference between mean and median is, so mean and mode, the difference is given 63, given mean minus mode or mode minus mean. Any order we can take because it is given only the difference, not the order given. So mean minus mode is given 63. Then we have to find what is the difference between mean and median. So we need the difference between mean minus median or median minus mean. Again order is not required. Now how to find the difference between mean and median? Difference between mean and mode is given. So for finding this, so what we need is the relation between mean, median and mode is required. So what we know is, we know that mode equal to 3 into median minus 2 times mean. Okay, we know that mode equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. So using this formula, we can form relation between these three quantities. Now we know that mean minus mode, okay, mean minus mode or mode minus mean, okay. So let us subtract mean on both sides, okay. I will subtract mean on both sides. So if we subtract the mean, mode minus mean, 3 median minus 2 mean minus mean. We are subtracting the mean on both sides because mode minus mean, the difference we know, and we have to form relation between median and mean. Okay. So mode minus mean, 3 median minus 3 mean. So 3 we can take common. 3 times of median minus mean. Okay. And let's take the minus common and cancel. So mean minus mode is equal to 3 times mean minus median. Okay. So this is what given 63. So 3 times mean minus median. So the required difference, mean and median difference is divide 3, 21. Understanding? So this this is what given. Now we need to find this relation we know. I am subtracting mean on both sides so that we get difference between mode and mean, and we can find the in terms of mean and the median. So this step is important. How we are using the relation? Okay, using this given. So required answer 21. Okay. Now let's see next question. Mean deviation from mean of the data is. We need the mean deviation from mean. Okay. So we know formula for finding the mean deviation, both mean. Now see that which type of data given. Observations are given and frequencies are given. It is a group data. So in case of group data, in the case of group data, what is the mean deviation about the mean formula? It is a sigma modulus of xi minus x bar into fi divided by sigma f. Okay, this is the formula for finding the mean deviation about the mean. Now we will find each of these terms. First we have to find the mean here. Mean is x bar. Now we write this in the form of table so that we can find easily. Let us write the table. This is what given. Observations are given, and then frequencies are given. Observations 10, frequency 2, 15, frequency 4, 20, 6, 25, 8, 35. Now, first we find what is the mean, because for finding deviation, first we should know what is the x bar. So what will be x bar here? X bar is formula sigma xi into fi divided by sigma fi. This is sum of frequencies here. Sum of the frequencies is 10, 20, 25. So sigma fi we know 25. Now we need sigma xi into fi. So first you have to multiply the observations with their corresponding frequencies. Multiply xi into fi 20, 60, 120, 200, 150. Now we need the sigma xi into fi. So add all this. What is the sum of this? Sigma xi into fi. Adding all this, so we get 0, 7, 9, 15, 4, 5, 550 will get. So 550 divided by 25. 25 2s are 25. So mean is 20. Now we know mean x bar is 20. Now what we need is the difference we need xi minus x bar. Now let us find what is the difference. Xi minus x bar. X bar is 22 and xi is this value square. So let us take the difference. 10 minus 22 minus 12. And we will take the modulus. Okay, let us find the absolute value directly. So we take modulus, we get 12 here, difference is 7, difference is 2, difference is 3, difference is 8. So this is modulus of xi minus x bar. Now we need to multiply it with the corresponding frequency. So modulus of xi minus x bar multiply with their corresponding frequencies. So you have to multiply this with F5. So 12 2s are 24, 7 4, 28, 2 into 6, 12, 3 into 8, 24, 8 into 5, 40. Okay. So this is the modulus of xi minus x bar into F5. Now for finding mean deviation, we need the sum of this sigma. So this is the summation. What is the sum of all this? 12, 14, 18, 5, 7, 10, 12. So this summation is 128. So substitute this. Numerator summation is 128 divided by sigma fi is 25. So simplifying will get the value 25 5 is 125. 3 remains. So 5.12. That will be the mean deviation about the mean. Okay. So this is how we can find the mean deviation about the mean in case of this group data. Okay. So to remember the formula and then solve according to the terms that is required. Okay. Now see the next question. For a series, the information is available. N is given 10 number of observations. Sigma x is given 60. Sigma x square is given 1000. Then the standard deviation is. So in some series, number of observations N is given. Number of observations is 10. And sigma x means sum of observations is given 60. You can take sigma xi is 60 and sigma xi square, sum of squares of observations is given 1000. Using this, what is the standard deviation? What is the sigma? Now we know formula for standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Sigma equal to square root of variance. And what is the variance we know? Sigma xi square by n minus x bar whole square. For finding the standard deviation or variance, first we need what is the mean. So let us find the mean here. So here what is the mean? X bar is sigma xi by n. Sigma xi is already given 60 by 10. So mean is 6. Next, sigma xi square also known. Now we can use the standard formula. So standard deviation. So sigma equal to square root of sigma xi square, that is known 1000 divided by n. Number of observations is 10 minus x bar square. X bar we know 6. So square root of 100 minus 36. So root 64 means 8. So required standard deviation, it is 8. Okay. So using the notation, we are solving the problem directly. Okay. So let's stop our discussion here. So try to complete all the remaining problems up to here. Okay. Thank you.